Hello. Oh, I hope this sound is okay. Actually, I'm just doing it this way because, yeah, that's going. Because I didn't even want to, because this is going to be more than one part. So I didn't even want to bother with, because I know this one, just because of what it is, I know it's going to take forever to upload. So, um, if you are sensitive, this easily triggered, this video is not going to be for you because it has sensitive topics. Actually, I can't even see from here, but this is weird because the last time I was guided to directly from source like this, it was the karmic video I did um, about a year ago. I'll probably say 12 months ago. And in that one, because it is crazy, guys, these karmics are going crazy. They already know time is up. So right now you have so many people and people that operate on a low frequency, they're gone. That is nothing but archons controlling those vessels right now. So right now they are actually desperately trying to bind themselves to other people so they can go through the portal. But that's not going to happen. They're not going to make it through that portal because your consciousness has to calibrate over the heart space, which means it have to be 500, maybe around between 460 and 500 people that the karmics, the throwing negative energy at people, the copycat energy, that's your consciousness calibrates lower, like in the 100 range. So it's no way they could try to energy harvest all along because the false matrix is collapsing. The poles are reversing. Animals, you see all those animals leaving hey, you know what? I should have got another device, honey, because I cannot see. Oh, hey, how y'all doing? I hope y'all having a good time, good day, and high vibrational. Um, these topics are going to be sensitive. Now, when source steps in, that's when I know it's serious. I would probably say around this time last year, I did a karmic mother video, and I had got so many downloads, and for a lot, and it put so much. I was able to connect what they did. They came in and connected so many dots. That was the video where, because that was the only gap that was missing for me. But in that video that I did, I had got the message that had gave me the connection that my mom had to predators. So when I did that video, a few months after I did that video, because actually I posted, because the guy's mugshot is still in the community tab. After I did that video, they had a guy who is from the same area. This happened in the same area that I said that it was a house where they do rituals that was connected to traffic of children. And I had mentioned in there that they actually have cops, because we're talking about dark masons and eastern stars. And I had gave the information that there's a house there where ritual things were going on, and that house was connected to the trafficking. Right after I did that video, that's when all of a sudden just so happened that they the cops allegedly pursued him, and somehow the guy managed to escape, 2 officers on foot. That's what I posted him, and I said that's strange because this is the same area that is connected to the trafficking. And I had mentioned in that video that police patrol that house, protect the house. And that's when I had gave the authorities, you guys need to pull up and listen. They protect that house. And I'm not saying that it was because I mentioned they need to check the routes because it is on a route that dirty officers, they protect in this diabolical house. After that, from that point on, when I posted that man's mugshot to right now, dozens have been arrested in and around my city for child PORN. When I say it's so many of them, it was just 2 that I know of, just 2 last week. So I was told to choose my words wisely because this is the investigation. But to the authorities on the right side of this, you guys need to know that you would have already found, because it's another layer. When you pull this back, and you probably would have found it already, but you have authority figures and people all in the judicial system that are altering and covering up things so you won't pull back this next layer. But when I say every week people are getting arrested for that, like I said, I don't even think it's been 7 days. It's been at least 2 in the last 7 days. And that's been consistent, the 12 months. And I noticed that's when the spell work even got worse. But the authorities, you guys need to, especially with, and oh, let me say this. One of the ones who was arrested for the child PORN was actually a police officer. They got him, and not only did they lock him up for that, they also, one of the charges was bestiality. And I mentioned in that video too, I'm gonna have to post it later because this is a lot, so it's going to be a part 2. I had mentioned that this group, they are so dark and diabolical. A lot of these people, and that's crazy because the ones that are talking to me, I'm talking about people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. This has been going on so long. I didn't realize how dirty this city was. This city is foul, it's dirty. So once I gave that information, that's when they really started. I mean, they was already coming at me hard anyway, but they started really coming at me hard. I was poisoned multiple times, all of that. The obsession that my mom has at this point, because it was already bad. I didn't realize how bad things were. Like I said, I'm going to repost that video, but I was a target since I got here. My hate train started when I was probably like, that I know of. It may have been before that, but it got real bad for me when I was about 7 and was that way throughout. But when I started getting in my North Node in my 30s, that's when she got really bad. But when my dad passed 3 years ago, that's when it got super bad because I found out after my dad died that my funeral was already planned. That's crazy because I did a short when that first happened with the card that came in the mail from the funeral home. Now, she had already rerouted my mail because I did find out that I had P.O. boxes in my name, and my mail had been rerouted to that after my dad died. So, because she's in the process of trying to steal an inheritance, but she's done so much dirt, and they're trying to hurry up and get me out of the way because and I know one of the things she probably went and did is trying to get power over me because she's coming up in everybody's reading because that energy is so strong, because this is about to pop. But with these, how can I put, I'm not going to, certain things I have, how can I word that, because I don't want to mess up an investigation. But the people that are in the authorities' face saying X, Y, and Z and do that, you need to double back and look at the people who are putting in these complaints, and especially my mom. And let me say this, because a lot of these people are really incestuous, and this is something, this is even hard for me to say because it's disgusting. I don't remember what happened before. I don't remember what happened after. I don't know if it's a block because it's disgusting, but I've been guided to put everything out there. And it's been coming up a lot, and it's been coming up for a reason. I remember, this is the only part that I can remember, being about 4 or something years old. I guess she was bathing me. And the only thing that I could remember was me sitting in the tub and shielding myself from her. So over the course of my life, that would come up. That image kept coming up in my head a few times. And I was like, can't be. And honestly, I never even pulled her, because I think at this, I'm just now ready. I want to pull on the other stuff first, because it's disgusting. But that's something that keeps popping up to me. When I say these people are sick, trust me when I say, and these are the people that come off as upright citizens. These are all college graduates, had good jobs, and I see they're just like how secret societies do. They like have them placed in certain places to like gatekeep that. But now this is something I was guided to do, and I hope one of the things they not trying to connect me with this lady's unaliving, but I kept getting images of this lady. So in one of my Karmic mom videos, I was guided because they kept zooming in on her outfit. That's why I had described her outfit in the video. And it was a 12-year-old, like 12, 13-year-old boy with it. And I got the message that I could already tell that she was deceased, and the boy had got trafficked. So, oh, thank you. And I was thinking I had never picked up anything else from her. Once I had got a vision, and I need to, this with the cops, y'all need to tap in. I kept seeing this room, and it was weird because one thing that stood out to me the most in the room, in the vision, is it was a dark room, but you can tell it was light outside. And what stuck out first was it was a real small TV, but it was like one of the bubble TVs, like a really, really old TV. It wasn't a smart TV. It wasn't a flat screen. And I was like, that's where I was like, I hadn't seen one of those, because like in a long time, because I remember about 25 years ago, I had bought one of my kids like a SpongeBob one like that. And I was like, that's an old TV. The TV was on. It was dark in the room, but I could tell in the window it was sunlight, but they had something red, like red, blocking the window to keep it real dark, but you could still see like you know how like if you have something red against the window and it kind of casts that little kind of reddish, you could just see the red, and it had curtains in the front of it. And I looked around the room. I'm saying this because you're going to trip out when I tell you where these visions came from. And I could tell, and I was trying to look around the room, but for some reason it's like my eyes were closing, and it closed, and the vision went away. Now, for a long time, because a lot of times when I close my eyes, I would like see stuff. And for the longest, for like over a year, when I closed my eyes, I would see, like I could tell, like I was laying down, because I could look up at the sky, but I could see tall grass like around me. So I was like, oh, I was like, I know it's good to lay on the ground and put your spine against the earth, but I was like, I wouldn't lay down in tall grass. I was like, I was just thinking about all the bugs that are crawling on you, especially in Louisiana. So for the longest, I had been seeing that. Like I'll see the vision of the sky and the tall grass. Well, a few days ago, right when I was getting message about this, and that's when I was getting message, look, you need to come on and bring this up again. And because usually when I see that, that's when, probably like when I'm laying down to go to sleep, then I would see that. So when I was meditating, I was up, I wasn't going to sleep. I saw it again. But this time it started moving. So what it did is it panned down, and then it went in the ground. I could see it going in the ground. And it still went down, and I could see the dirt. And that's when I got the message. It was like, shallow grave. So that's when I was like, this is crazy. I had been seeing, I'm thinking that I just never picked up on anything from this woman. But for some reason, I was seeing things the way she saw it. She had been drugged. That's why the eyes kept, because I wouldn't, it's intuitive visions, but you could see the eyes closing down, and the same thing happened. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I was seeing, because like I said, I was like, I would never lay in the grass. And what was crazy, after it had panned down under the ground, then I saw a silhouette of a man standing over her, looking. He stepped away, and I saw at least 6 other people moving around that. So when I made that comment, that because after I had said in one of those videos that the police need to check out there with the ground penetrating radar things, I said there were bodies out there. And it's weird because I posted this too. I remember after I said that, in that area, a body was found. And I had posted that in the community tab, and I said they need to keep looking because there's more bodies out there. And I'm like, that's crazy. The lady whose outfit that I described, I was looking at it from her standpoint, which lets me know she is not at rest at all. So this woman is still out there in a shallow grave. So honestly, I think that's why they have been going so hard, and they've been plotting and planning. I've had little attempts, I could tell, that were kidnapping. And when I had got poisoned really, really bad, they just knew that I was out of here, because I did get really, really sick. And that's when I had to go through a complete, because if you're going through that, trust me, source, they're going to redo your system and upgrade you to where it won't take effect like that. But when after they had poisoned me, it was a while before I was even moving around. So the first time I went and took that trash out, there was black SUVs sitting around. And it's the same black SUVs that I saw at my previous address. So they thought they did their big one. So they're really plotting as far as the authorities. And this is something else because I talked about that too, which it didn't connect to me. These people are crazy. These people just, people that in my family that passed away, everything came back to me. And it was because they do everything to keep, I guess, if you're a star seed or if they can benefit, if you're not one of them, they harvest off of you. Because like I said, I dealt with alcoholism. I started drinking when I was really young. So by the time I was a late teenager, I was a little slush. And I had two cousins. One of them, he was an alcoholic too. And as soon as he healed and turned his life around, all of a sudden he got sick and passed away. I had another cousin who was on drugs and alcohol. Once things changed for him, he got shot. He was unalive in front of his house. And at that, when Mom had called and told me about that, she basically, because at that time I had already, at that time, this was over 10 years ago, because she'd been hard cut off for a while now. And she called and she could tell I didn't want to talk to her. And I was like, I was doing something because I don't want to talk to you. But she hurried up, and you know how when somebody just blurts stuff out real quick, like to try to trigger you? This is her nephew, and she was basically like, where he used to be, basically he deserved it because I know there was shots at me, basically since he was a alcoholic or whatever, that he deserved it. And I was like, that's cold. But what if I wouldn't? I'm going to come back on and do that because I need to do a reading. I need to do a death toll checklist because I realized that I'm not the only one. These people, my family, they have literally been sacrificing their own family. So I'm trying to see because I know it was something else. Let me see something. But it's crucial right now, and I could tell that things are about to pop. But what's crazy is the energy harvesting. When I feel it on my back now. Hold on a minute. The energy harvesting is crazy right now. And like I said, and it's happening all over. Like I said, if you guys have like unhealed people who did, be really careful right now. Because right now they are completely taken over. Divine Spirit, what is the energy that I'm picking up on now? Because that's crazy. Because it literally just started. What is the energy that I'm picking up on right now? That's a shame. I should never know because I could tell when people are doing spell work on me. It's nowhere in the world that I should know what time you wake up in the morning. Like I said, I'm just going to have to like pray for the kids. And I just saw up close to right outside, I would probably say maybe 20 minutes from where it happened, they just had like 2 teens like in the last month or so, month and a half, that went missing. When this city is diabolical, and I think 2 years ago I did the video on it because I was guided to do the video on it. And I said that there was a nasty, nasty flood that is coming to this area, straight through from Baton Rouge up through the country area to Mississippi. That's going to happen. Something's coming. And but in 2 months ago, I did the video, and it was like double messages in there. But in that one, it was the same thing, but it was also a warning to everyone else about still being around people that aren't meant to go with you, because you might be caught in the area, because as you can see, the flooding all over has already started. Like, I'm talking about different countries, different cities in the U.S. What is the current energy around me? I'm trying to see what they're plotting, because it is getting so diabolical now, the amount of spell work that they are doing and trying to get you caught up in crimes that they didn't commit. Everything she is saying is karmic and tears. Try to tear this. This is so they could split your energy, and this so they could drain the energy. So of course, as soon, because I know they had their little notifications on. So this is what they're doing right now. What is the current? Look how this flipped out. Practitioner. Y'all, I'm blind as hell. I need to get some more glasses. Oh yeah. Oh, it's coming, and it's coming back. You see, here's the thing with the false matrix already collapsing. Anything they put out, it's going to come back to them. What they don't realize, they trying to bind themselves to people. But when you're trying to bind yourself to people, what you're telepathically broadcasting out to the universe is, I'm not good enough. So, and chaos, destruction. And that's exactly, and to be honest with you, they don't realize that they are being used. The false matrix has to come down. All that chaos and destruction that they're putting out into it, all it's doing is bringing down the false matrix. But they're not going to be able to get through that portal. It's not happening. They don't realize it, but it's nothing. If they karmic in doing that, they're conscious. Like I said, my so-called mom, she's pure evil. Evil carries a frequency of 30. And think about it. You have to have a 460 to 500 to even be able to make it through the portal. So they think that binding themselves to people is going to make a difference, and it's not. So in a way, and I could tell you right now, they're under a strong delusion. And let me tell you this. If a karmic took the JAB during COVID, that's even worse. Because I was listening, I saw a call with doctors. It was like a medical, and he was saying that the brains of people who had took the JAB, it affected their endocrine system. And he said every brain, I think the doctor had, because I'm gonna have to put that clip on because I saved it. I'm gonna have to go back and read that. He examined 100 brains, and every last one of them, the pineal gland was destroyed. Now, you couple that, I just talked about this 2 months ago. That's why I said the parasite cleanse And not giving medical advice, but the parasite cleanse and the heavy metal cleanses are really, really important because the parasites in the body interface with parasitic beings. Parasites hide behind heavy metals. Now, if you look up the smart dust and those things, those heavy metals have nanoparticles in them, and those are completely controlled. So you couple that with the destroyed pineal gland, that allows for a complete takeover. That's why a lot of people, I had just saw the numbers today, the psychosis, it changes the behavior. That's why a lot more people are more aggressive. And you notice they just sit and just talk about people all day. It's crazy. Oh, she's doing fire magic. And look at this. Everything is debris. Everything, they're targeting my energy right now. Because what they have been doing, they have been trying so hard to attach, I mean, every chakra. Now, how you spend all that time, and she's doing, I've been single for years. And that's something, because she knows, because unfortunately, if it's, someone like a mother, they know your chart. Let me see. Oh, honey, I am blind. You know what? The best parasite cleanse, I would look it up, but I would start with let me show you, wormwood. Um, I got this one because this one had green, black walnut, wormwood complex. This is a really good one, and this works. I didn't even worry about to have some that say, oh, this one tastes good. No, just give me the one that's bitter, because this one, people, you actually see results, and you could feel a difference with this. It's different things, because it's like different herbs, but this one is a good start. This is one of the main ones. And they have charcoal tablets. I'm not sure how they work, but this is it's messy. I hope my fingertips not black, but it's a lot of it in here too. This is a good one. This is some activated charcoal that I got. The only thing is you can't take it every day. So like I said, you definitely have to do your research. You can't take it every day. But this one, how much was this? It was a good price too. I know it was under $15. And it's a lot. And you could use it for other things too. But this, it pulls it all the heavy metals that are in your body, it binds to it and you pass it. That's why I said this worked good together, because this helped cleanse you out. And this, when you take it, and you have to drink a lot of water, because it binds all those heavy metals up, and you pass those. So that this, see what I mean? That's why I keep it in the bag. This stuff is messy. Hold on. Jeez, it works, but it's messy. I was wondering when I first, because I go through the reviews, and every review is messy, is messy, is messy, is messy. And I was like, it can't be that bad. When I got them, I was like, sheesh. Oh, no, it's not the same. No, food grade. Activated off on food grade. the one they use, because they have not that, just the food grade activated charcoal. So yeah, that oh, this stuff's so messy. They wouldn't lie about it being. Let me get one more. They wouldn't lie, but like I said, you can't take it every day. That what did I say? Oh, I didn't even see this too. Now that's crazy that this was happening behind it, because sound, that's something I use too. You know what? I'm glad sound came out. That's a message. There is a frequency. It's called the right frequency. It's 1150 hertz, and that, just listening to that sound, that disturbs the parasites in your body. The 1150 hertz Rife frequency, RIFE, the Rife frequency helps with parasites too. But that's crazy. I was just talking about this little cords. They just keep trying to bind themselves, and it's like, y'all not going nowhere. And I think they know, and it's crazy. To me, the karmics are doing all of this, and a lot of them think that they okay, because you have a lot, especially the people, the copycats, who they're not going through either, because, like I say, with people, thoughts are things. So when you're doing stuff to other people, you projecting out lack, destruction, hatred, chaos. So you just helping bring the false matrix down, but you're creating that for you. And the thing about it, it doesn't matter how much money you have, because if you're on a timeline with no power grid, then what? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. And that's weird, because I mentioned that. I'm gonna have to, when I figure out which video that was, I talked about the grid, because they probably won't be able to, but across the U.S., I think it's like 14 or 16 major transformers, and to bring down the whole grid only takes destruction of 9 of them. But I mentioned in that video, like 2 years ago, look, they're going to try to make it seem like they're in charge of everything, and they're not. I said, when the universe does something, they're going to turn around and try to mimic it to make it seem like they have the power, and they don't. Their time is up. But yeah, when I hope everybody enjoyed copycatting and harvesting off other people, because when that time comes, you're not going to be on a higher timeline. You're going to be on the one with no grid. So when well, it's not no when, because we don't know when, and don't know how much of it that we would actually experience. But we're gonna flash out of here. And like I said, what they're doing now, they just making it worse. That's why I say it's important to watch the company you keep. And it's weird. I still probably do a separate video on this, but guys, be careful. Like when you go out into like large crowds, like if you outdoor in large crowds, and that's crazy, because I was going to do this video, because that was one of the things I picked up, but that's not going to be the only time it happened. I got this message of, that's why from now on, when I get messages, even sometimes I'm just going to do like this and just not even bother about, recording and upload. And I might just come on and just, as I get um, the channel messages and visions, I'm just going to come on and just give it. But the thing that was weird to me when I picked up, because I got the message of people snapping in crowds. Like, if it's rather shooting into a crowd or driving through to a crowd. And what I heard was broadcast. And I started getting images of, like, I guess like the cell phone towers, especially the ones they try to camouflage to make it look like trees. And I heard Manchurian Candidate. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. And I think that's something that's going to be heavy on the weekends. And when I say probably every weekend, not saying it's not during the week, but especially on the weekend, they are blasting those frequencies out. And the thing is, if they blasting those frequencies out, that's going to affect the nanoparticles that's in the body. So for a person that's already vibrating at a low frequency with heavy metals in the body, when that broadcasts out, for people to snap in large crowds to cause, because they're going to try to cause a lot of fear and with harming people, that's when they broadcast those frequencies out, that's going to hit the nanoparticles in the body that controls, because that takes over your nervous system. And a lot of the stuff that you see that's happening out in large crowds, where people snapping and stabbing people, that's what that is. It's crazy. That's why I say it's important. Places that have maybe lower vibrating people, even if it's not, just out in large crowds, be careful. Because one thing, especially now, if you're not meant to be in a place, or if you're somewhere and your solar plexus, your stomach tightens up, and you probably tighten up anywhere, you need to immediately change, even if it's stepping to the side, but break up your pathway, even if it's just for a minute. Because I did that once, because just with the car accident spells, I could do a whole video on that, from the way I saw it. Because I'm not sure, I think I did talk about that, where I was headed to the store. I had already had my keys in my hand and was at the door, and everything tightened up, and I just felt that negative energy. I was like, oh, wait a minute. So I went and I grabbed me some Florida water, and put the Florida water on, and I went down my back, to kind of cleanse down my chakras. And then I went ahead and went to the store. And as soon as I was pulling up to the store, that's when I noticed a car had came out the store and flew across and hit. The accident had just happened and hit the car. And it was weird because the car was like the similar color and a similar style to mine. But had I not said, oh, hold up, let me go get some Florida water, if I would have just continued on my path, that would have put me in the path of that car coming out and ramming that car. So when you get that feeling, break up your path. Even if it's just for a few minutes, break up that path, because that could actually get you out of something. But what do I need to know about my mother? That's sad. I have to... Race fetish. My dad is mixed. But she liked the men, but not the women. Self-sabotage. That's crazy because that's what, because I think one of the things that she went down and do with my inheritance, because she's doing all kind of stuff, and I know that she has a little Masonic and Eastern Star connections in the courthouse, but she's trying to make it look like I'm like this horrible person, because that's what she has really been trying to. Oh, the MK Ultra has been crazy, and the crown chakra attacks. Just, I mean, every aspect of my life they're trying to tear down. Even like with the, and I know they had something to him with my ex, but he's trying to like take the, even trying to affect their social security. I'm like, you're a deadbeat. At least, you know, with him being a veteran, at least they get even trying to mess that up. I see. But she's trying to, because everything else they're doing isn't working, and she's trying to get me to self-sabotage, but the only thing she's doing is self-sabotaging herself. That's why I said, you guys, like the people that have wronged you and done you dirty and still trying to do you dirty, watch what happens. I'm sorry if oh yeah, that is a good they are unhinged. That's good that you cover yourself. That's real important now, especially with the way, I hope, did I miss any oh no, what am I doing? If something I need to see, you could type again. I'm a homebody too. I never go I just stay at home, because right now they are unhinged, and it's because, like I said, to me, that's the way they're doing it. It's really sneaky. That's why it's, the people who aren't doing the healing, they under this delusion. They don't need, it's almost like they don't, it's a takeover. It's like at this point, it's a complete takeover, and it's crazy because they're going to get worse, because the more the false matrix, the more this collapses, the more, because those are nothing but archons. Those are nothing but entities. But their time is up, and they're panicking. I don't know why, because you know they're real egotistical. They really thought that they could control this. But one thing that we know is that this planet, when the time comes, it resets. It washes everything out, and it's a reset. And that's the same thing that's going unhealthy boundaries. This, because she literally, in which I didn't know, because like I said, back when I was an alcoholic, oh, she was living it up. That's the happiest she ever was, because I was in low vibrations, and she was harvesting my energy. Oh, she was living her best life when I was an alcoholic. Oh, especially when I got arrested. What the times I got arrested. Dogmatic, giving opinions as if they were always talking. Unwanted opinions. I'm just going to get one more of these. That's crazy. I pulled these out. I don't know. I have, I never used this deck. But it's about to get interesting, because I already knew that the twisted belief system. Now let me say this. The rural area she's from, and even my ex, who I was in a false marriage with, that area is heavily known for voodoo and incest. It's bad up there, especially like with the older people, and that's so crazy to me that it's almost like they fight to keep that going. I didn't forget. Mother Superior Complex. You know, and especially if you guys have some toxic elders or if you have a toxic mother, they feel that they are obligated and they have the right, since they are older. You know how like some of these matriarchs are, it doesn't matter how much dirt they do, the rest of the family is going to kind of stick by them because, oh, that's the matriarch. So see, she, and this crazy, this came out with twisted belief system. So she actually thinks that she is right to try to destroy every area of my life just because she, and to be honest with you, I don't think she's my real mother. She might be. I just don't understand that. I mean, well, people have, I can't say I can't understand that level of hatred because these toxic mothers been unalive, and I don't know if you guys have been seeing that, but you notice that's happening a little more now. Oh, that's too many. I'm gonna get a couple more. And here's the thing, you know how selfish you have to be to still be trying to sacrifice your daughter so you could take over her life, and you 82. 82. Like, where do you think you going? I think these finished talking. Acts like a stranger. She is a stranger to me. I see Help always lending a hand. Yeah, back then I used to always lend her my energy. That's why I had to cut her completely off. And it's funny, after and this is a thing that you kind of have to watch out with family, because I had cut her off, but I was still dealing with family members that were still dealing with her. And that was the biggest mistake, because I got set up the absolute worst. When I first started my channel, I had actually moved from where I was staying because I just had a 3-bedroom. Of course, I had a relative was like, oh, well, I really, wanted to come back and stay with me. So I'm like, okay, I didn't know it was a setup. So I was like, I had to move. I was like, I need a 4-bedroom, if she's going to move back in with me. So at that point, that's when I went and got a larger place. I got that house that I was in when I started. And let me tell you, that left me wide open. They had access to me. It got real bad. We ended up falling out, soon after. And then that's when I had like a half sister that I hadn't seen in like 13 years pop up and call. And she ended up coming over. I had another family member who was staying there that was betraying me. Put cameras in the house and was getting all of my personal things to take back to them so they could use for spell work. And that's when I say in that moment, that's when the worst, because that was before my dad passed. And that was the worst warfare. The worst. So, and then at that point, that's when I realized that I would need that for my safety and sanity, you know, that I had to cut everybody off. What do I need to know about lawyering up? That's what I need to do. I know she already have one, and I know if she have one, it's crooked. But like I said, they're about to get caught. Jealous of your beauty. Let me tell you, she is jealous of everybody. Like I told you, she is like jealous of younger women, even because she was the human resource supervisor, so she was over hiring, and so many younger women got their application thrown away for nothing because of her. So many, because when she used to laugh at it, I never forget, I was like around 15 or 16, and she was like, which is crazy to me that she would even say this because she grew up poor, but she was saying that if women had what she calls like a super ethnic name, that she would throw their applications away. And she bust out laughing. And it was weird because I didn't understand why I got that, but I just saw like visions of women with children. And it wasn't until I got older, and I was like, she rejected a lot of, you know, single like mothers from a good federal job, but it was more or less of their age because she's 82. So the type of names is crazy because Vinay is my middle name. My first name is good and ethnic, and I was like, that wouldn't be from her generation. That would be from a younger generation, and that's when I realized she was targeting younger melanated women from getting a job. She would literally, and she laughed. She thought it was funny. She didn't even look at their application. She stopped at their names. And that was back when she told me that. That was before everything was computerized. So you had to do everything by hand. And what's even more messed up is the ones that got through. Like I said, that was before computers. Before computers, you would actually have to come once, if you made it past the application process, you would, you know, have to be tested. So you had to go in and get tested. Because I remember when I was little, I used to sharpen the pencils. That was, you know, kind of fun to me. I didn't mind. I would sharpen the pencils for testing. So by her testing them, she was able to discriminate on them again. Like I say, and that's the reason why I don't get me. Go look at how you made me what? I know. Getting on my nerve. That's their ego. All of them egotistical, but I'm pretty sure that like they ego was starting to crack now because they're starting to because the way they're scrambling. And what you said earlier, unhinged, that's the perfect way to describe them. Unhinged. What else do I need to know about my mother? I'm going to do lazy. It's funny. This one remind me of my ex. Well, that's him. Hell, that's both of them too, because okay, this is definitely ex toxic love. People don't know how to love. Let me put you up. Yo, see, you only live once. See, this is the ew. Why self-pleasure on the bottom of the deck? Why was, and you know what? This is something that they do a lot If it's not with somebody else, this is another way, and this is sick because this is every night, and just like some, it's kind of strong, but I could tell that it's sometimes I could tell that it's men doing sex magic to harvest energy from women at night. What does she have planned? What does my so-called mother and her minions have planned? What are they up to? And it's something, it seems like I'm forgetting something, but like I said, this is just part one because I want to, I need to go even on my dad, and actually, like my oldest son would have been 33. He was stillborn. I just went into labor, and it wasn't like labor pains when it hit. It was like something slammed into my body, and it was just one pain. And when I got to the hospital, I was at 10 centimeters. That's how bad it was, like something slammed into me. And you know, back in the day, you know, I had just turned 5 months. Back then, if it happened at the, you know, they have a chance now, you know, with the technical advances, but back then you couldn't. So when I got pregnant 5 years later, it's funny because at the exact same moment, that's why I say this, I got the message, but I never pulled on it because it's like I know, but what I'm going to do, I'm putting that in my death toll checklist too. But with my second pregnancy, to me that's at a dirty time because it was done when you're you're out of the miscarriage stage, but where the child is too, you know, old enough but too young to survive at the age where it's like, I guess, like more painful where to be a stillbirth. During my second pregnancy, at the exact same time, as soon as I hit 5 months, I went to the doctor, and they was like, whoa, you already dilating. So at that moment, I immediately came high risk because it happened at the exact moment again. But I was able to make it to terms. And the weirdest thing, when I was in, because at the time my fiance was at work, so I had to call my mom to take me to the hospital. So with this one, it was the same thing. Once it was delayed. The same way I lost the first child is the way when the labor just hit, it was like bam. And the same thing happened again. Extreme pain, got to the hospital, 10 centimeters. But this time it was like, it started the same thing she did before it started, but the divine stopped it. And when I got to full term, the second effect came up again because she was born like 15 minutes after I got to the hospital. Only thing they had time to do was put me in a robe, a barely got net, and she was born. And that's when I got the message later that she did the same thing. But when I had the baby, it was so weird. She even made the doctors and the nurses uncomfortable because she wouldn't even look at the baby. She was standing in the window just looking weird and looking out the window. She wouldn't look at me. And when I was in labor, she was just standing and looking out the window. And when she heard that baby cry, she just wouldn't budge. She was looking out the window. So the nurses got to looking around like, so they finally asked her, it's like, you want to come over here and see your grandbaby? No, no, no. And that's when I got the message later. She was mad as hell that that baby was born. Because I wasn't supposed to have that one either. But I'm still, I know, I shied away from that one as long, but I got the message that his journey was complete in the womb. So I was like, okay. But she's diabolical. They, this same group, they have unalive a lot of family members. And that's sad. And then it's crazy for them to still be going this hard. Okay. What is my mom and her minions planning? What time? Oh yes, 3:30. Okay, I like being on live. I'm gonna have to come on here. Oh, this is kind of too many, but this is too many. But it's crazy how Six of Cups, Temperance, the Emperor, and a Five of Wands. That's crazy now. My mom is an Aries, and my mom is very, very masculine. So she always comes up as the Emperor, but it's a woman. And you see the Five of Wands right behind it. I think she's going for more than imbalance. And actually, every time I see that, that's when I know that she's that balance to me. That kind of points for me. That's that targeting my crown chakra. She's trying to do and put so much spell work on me. She wants me to come on here and snap out and flash so she can go back and say, see, I told you. No. What is she planning? That's funny how these cards kind of feel like they don't want to talk. She's getting mad. 7 of Wands. Still attacking. And it's not going to work. 6 of Wands. But we keep going. Oh God, I'm going to take that leap. Boy, they not even, it's like they kind of ignoring her. Oh, okay, this is the justice system to me. Like I said, I'm going to look in to more later, 3 of Cups, the Hierophant, and the 10 of Cups. I'm going to look into more, because I do have to go, but honestly, I'm going to try to, because I really want to check on everybody, because there's some other relatives I mentioned in that video, and one of them is just make me so sad to think about. But I actually want to go through, and I want to like kind of check on these a lot of these deaths. She's not even coming up in there. Anything else I need to know? Let me just get one more. Let's go ahead. See how it came upside down? That's the Temperance again, but it trying to came try to, well, it actually did flip. upside down. So I keep all of them upright. So they still doing that, still attacking, still, and that's the thing that they doing. It's the mental attacks are like really crazy now, but it's not gonna work. These people are unhinged. Like I say, I know I probably forgot something. I have more messages. I think I'm come back on. To me, it's so easier to I'll still upload some, but honestly, I do have like some other stuff that I want to bring up. Let me see if I missed anything. I actually like the being on live. What's this? Oh, that is cool. Yeah, you know what? They know where they're going. That's why they like so hell bent on binding the people. I'm like, they don't realize the energy they putting out. Like, no, baby, you falling with the matrix. That is not happening. Oh yes, honey, they have failed, flock, and everything else is not happening. Really? Oh, that is so cool, Shaman of Truth. Oh, Naked, you are so welcome. They are, oh, they, I like, it's when I see like some of the stuff that is coming up like in the news, I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. But thank you guys. I honestly, I like doing live better. It'll be, it'll be so much better if I wasn't blind as hell. See, next time I think, I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to move. Just try to get on my nerves. I had to move it up a little closer. But guys, thank you so much. And I actually going to try to do that tonight. Either which way I definitely have more videos to do. Actually, it's a lot of things are actually going to be targeted on like energy, because a lot of stuff, a lot of blocks that we have, and like even with me, it's some stuff that I thought that, you know, that I had dealt with, but since karmic mothers and like with childhood, that stuff like really imprints. It like kind of leaves like a imprint. So that's why I'm like focusing. Oh, and I did the water and fire. I need to do like the mini energy readings for air and um, earth too. But probably do some different ones. Probably longest, probably some around money, like around love. But it's just I'm kind of like focusing like on the chakras and stuff, because I know that these, and it's something else that I need to post it, but it's something else that's energetically happening this week too. Cause I forgot. I'm not sure if I follow a geophysicist, and he really breaks down what's going on with the energetically with the universe, because he like the stuff that he talks about, especially with the solar flares. He predicts like earthquakes and the energetic disruptions before they happen. And actually, I think it's something else like this week. To me, it's almost kind of like we're at a point where it could happen anytime with the way the rivers are going. And I saw that video at first. I'm not sure if it was I'm not sure in which order there was, but just a few days ago, all the bison were leaving. And I'm like, if Yellowstone, where I think it averaged like every 600,000 years, I think, and it's already at 640,000. So that'll have effects over the whole entire U.S. So it is something, well, it's happening a lot anyway, but I think it is something kind of big coming up. If I'm not mistaken, I'll make sure I double check, but I think that's this week. But honestly, keep your frequency up and stay away from these crazy people, because like I said, they are going and they're on the same thing, and especially with the way they're sending out those broadcasts with the towers, this is be extra careful on the weekend. But thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming to the live. And like I said, you can look out. I'm really going to try to um do the part 2 tonight. And actually, I'm going to probably try to do like a good meditation to see if I get any. Because I'm pretty sure with the other thing, I know I probably forgot something. But because every time when I like record, I'm like, damn, I forgot. But thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Can I start back up now?